This video is for the basic proofing tools in Word 2010. Have a look at the little document that I've got on screen. Notice you've got these little red wavy lines here. These are spelling errors. Notice the ones down here, your green ones, these are grammatical errors. So the grammar is incorrect. And occasionally you will see some of them with a blue underline. If it's a blue underline, it's indicating there's an inconsistency in formatting. So, but we're not covering that right now, I'm just telling you what it is. Now the ones we're covering is the spelling, which is red, and the grammar, which is green. Now when I'm checking a document, me personally, I use the F keys at top of your keyboard and I just press the F7 and that goes and gets me the spell checker. The spell checker will automatically check the grammar because I've got the little tick here, so the check grammar. That's why it's checking spelling and grammar, but that is imperative that you do that as well, because I'll show you why in a second. Now F7 is used by the keyboard, and after a while you may want to use it that way, but if you're first coming into and you're new to Word, you want to use the mouse. You go up to the ribbon, you come across to Review tab, you click the Review tab, you come down to the Proofing group, which is here, and there you go, the speller and grammar. You just click on that little button and there it goes, and it checks your grammar. Now what it does here, guys, it's looking, just read this here along the top, it tells you what's what, and it's saying not in the dictionary, so it doesn't like the word. Now if it doesn't like the word, what it will do, it will go and find suggestions if it has any, and it'll say which one of these is it, and then you can pick whichever one suits you the best, and then you can just simply go and say change. Now these buttons down here are very important, and what you've got to see here is ignore once, meaning it would just ignore this one occurrence of that spelling. Ignore all would ignore all the occurrences of the word that's spelled the same way as this. You could add it to the dictionary, so this might be a company name or a product within the company that Word doesn't recognise as a word. All you do is add it to the dictionary and it'll never pick this word up again in any documents as long as it's on this computer, because you've added it to the dictionary. If you are adding words to the dictionary, just make sure they are spelt correctly as you add them. Change, like I've said, will change this one occurrence. Change all would change as many occurrences as there was. So if you had, let's imagine 5 occurrences of this word incorrectly spelt, it would go and change them all. Now it might be that it's a regular occurrence with you and you keep changing and you keep making this same typo. So what you do is you hit the autocorrect and you can add it automatically to the autocorrect, and then the autocorrect will correct it as you're typing along. Now I'm going to walk you through the autocorrect in my next video, which is setting the proofing options. So have a little check of that out, and you'll know how to work the autocorrect in my next video. But at this occasion I'm just going to say change. So I just want to change this one occurrence, so I say change. Now it changes the word for me suggested. Now it goes down and it doesn't like the repeated words. So we look there, no, I don't want to have 2 of the same words, so I can delete, or I could ignore. But in this case I want to delete. Then it goes and it finds another not in the dictionary, so it's spelling, it's giving us suggestions down here. It doesn't always give you suggestions, sometimes it can't find suggestions, and that's usually on words that you use yourself within the company or names and things like that. But if it does, you can just literally say improve. Yes, that's the one we want, so we'll change that. And then it comes down to the grammar. We know it's extra spaces between words because it's telling us here. Now there's also another problem on this same word. Now I'll change the spaces first, we'll get rid of the spaces, and it should go and pick us another one up. Now straight away, look, it's picked another error up, and this one is the capitalization. Now it's saying that after a comma there shouldn't be a capital, and that's exactly what it's suggesting here. So you can click on that and then say change. while I've got you in, again, like the spelling, you've got ignore once, so you could ignore this one occurrence. You can ignore the rule completely, so you're not worried about the rule. You can say, no, let's go to the next sentence, and we'll check the next sentence. You can change, or you could say explain. Now if you hit the explain button, what this does, it goes and gets you the help, and it tells you exactly what's going on here. This is really good. It does explain exactly what's what. Don't forget down here, check grammar. If you haven't got a tick in this box, it will not check the grammar, and you do need it. And trust me, you do need it. Now what I will say to you is, on this occasion we're just going to say change, so it goes and change. Then it goes away and it says that the spelling and grammar check is completed. So now it's all happy hunky-dory with your document. Now that is your proofing tool, and it is as easy as that to use, but never, under no circumstances, take that as gospel, because it doesn't pick everything up, and you have to still proofread it by hand, because if you don't you will get errors. Now I'm going to highlight an error for you that this hasn't picked up, and it's so common. Now notice here we've got this word here, to. Now it doesn't mean, it says access all the word commands in just 2 clicks. That is incorrect. So what it should say is TWO, 2 clicks. But the grammar or and the spelling didn't pick it up, because it was a correct spell. It was a incorrect word that spells a correct word. So just be very careful of it. Don't take the proofing tools as 100%, because it isn't. It's a great help and it's a great asset, but don't trust it. You still need to read that manually and pick up on little things like this, because it can catch you out. That's it on the proofing tools. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check my other videos out. So if you nip over to check my other videos and you subscribe with us on our channel, we do requests. So if you want to know how to do tables or mail merge, anything like that,